Story, head to our website, 9.com.au/My Way. All our episodes up on 9 now. On the next My Way, more stories of inspiring Australians who are doing things their way. We'll see you then on My Way.
This is 9 News First at 5 with Dougal Beatty.
Good afternoon. A desperate search is approaching 30 hours for a woman feared trapped under rubble of an exploded house in Sydney's west. Emergency services are still holding out hope with sniffer dogs at the site today. Helene Lambetsos filed this report.
This Wayland Street has been holding its breath as firefighters comb through the rubble piece by piece, carefully looking for any signs of this missing woman. It was just before 1 p.m. yesterday when a large chunk of the Waikanda Crescent property exploded. The blast heard suburbs away. Since then, specialist firefighters, including those who responded to earthquakes in Christchurch, have been breaking through slabs of concrete trying to find the woman whose mother reported her missing, but there's been no breakthrough. 5 people were taken to hospital. Carol, one of 2 who had to be pulled out by firefighters.
I couldn't get out. There was no stairwell. It was gone. My neighbour's unit was gone. And the firemen came and got you out.
Carol and the others taken to hospital have since been released, but they can't return home, staying with family or in motels. Meanwhile, this major search operation for the missing woman stretches into a second night as residents watch on.
4 people have been injured in a destructive storm across WA. The state's southwest is the worst hit area, with around a dozen homes significantly damaged less than 1 month since a tornado tore through. Rachel Clifford filed this report.
A trail of destruction, home after home here on Austral Parade in Bunbury, battered by wild weather in what could be the second tornado in just 3 weeks. Around 10 people were inside the Parade Hotel when the roof collapsed. 2 were taken to hospital, including a woman with facial injuries.
A lot of the timber structure came from the Parade Hotel, so it must have been pretty hectic, the wind.
The cold front crossing over the state late last night, the downpour bringing up to 80 millimetres of rain in some areas. In Bunbury, streets were littered with debris, trees torn up, boats tumbled over and a surf life-saving tower uprooted, landing far from the beach.
Cracks of lightning and thunder and the power went out and then I could hear water pouring in. So water was pouring in through the windows.
The State Emergency Service responding to more than 200 call-outs today, working with the Bureau of Meteorology to determine whether or not Bunbury's storm was in fact a tornado.
There are indicators that this has been a similar event to the 10th. However, we need to ensure that we collect all the evidence and let them make that assessment.
The damage felt in Perth too. A huge tree toppled over, a driver smashing into it.
Very shaken, obviously, as you would be, like really, really scary.
The city skyline lighting up. SES have been assessing the damage today while homeowners begin to clean up the mess before another cold front comes through later this week.
A family in Melbourne's northwest has been left shaken after a frightening home invasion at the hands of machete-wielding thugs. Just before 6 o'clock on Thursday morning, 5 armed offenders were seen sneaking around the property. 2 young children and their parents were asleep inside as they broke into the house, swiping a laptop, smartwatch and keys to the white Mercedes parked out the front.
We didn't know what's going on actually. We were shocked. Anybody could have got hurt. Really bad actually. We could have ended up in hospital or, our children could have lost their parents.
No arrests have been made and the investigation remains ongoing. The family of a missing Melbourne grandfather has issued an urgent plea to help find him. 54-year-old Ronan Clark went missing 5 days ago after he was discharged from the Frankston Hospital. His family concerned for his welfare because he has a medical condition which requires regular medication.
The past 5 days have been really hard. Just searching for him everywhere, having no leads of where he could be.
Ronan was last seen in black clothing, sunglasses and is believed to be barefoot. Geelong has rallied against the fight against MND cause with its own version of the Big Freeze. Nathan Curry took the plunge in an effort to raise vital funds for research.
Well, Big Freeze Geelong has just wrapped up. Absolutely freezing after being one of the 16 sliders, 16 of us all in total. Went down that very steep slide, as you're about to see. So many wonderful people dedicating their time. Brownlow medalist Adam Cooney was one that went down. He dressed up as Ginger Spice. Current Geelong footballer Gary Rowan went down as Chucky from the Rugrats. We also had Emily Mannix from the Melbourne Vixens. The aim was to raise $100,000 towards Fight MND, and that just happened.
I'm delighted to say that we've smashed our target and we've raised over $100,000 that goes straight to Fight MND and research. Yeah, it was a great honour to be picked by Sammy. It means a lot to me. I have family friends that are struggling with MND as well, so we know how much MND do a lot for my friend, but also their family.
Well, now we've had the Geelong Big Freeze. We saw the WA Big Freeze last night, all gearing up towards the Big Freeze at the G on King's birthday Monday week, which will be absolutely massive as well. In the meantime, I think it's time for me to hit the showers. As you might be able to see, I'm still completely soaking wet and in half of my costume of Tony Jones. So I'm going to hit the shower, but it's been a great and successful day here in Geelong.
He's a brave man indeed. Well, the Matildas are getting ready for the Olympics. That will be announced on Tuesday, a month ahead of the deadline. Tony Gustafsson says he wants to give the Australian public as much time as possible to get behind the team.
I really felt with COVID-21 and we announced the team in Sweden and on screens and couldn't even see families, not fans. And it was very important for me to make sure that the players could be with their families and friends.
The Matildas play China tomorrow night in Sydney, their final game before heading to France. In the news ahead, the staggering find inside a teenager's suitcase at a major Australian airport. Why North Korea is sending balloons across the heavily guarded border. Plus the new Bluey tourism campaign selling Queensland to the world.
There's a tidal wave coming.
Australia, drop in for the wildest Sunday yet.
Welcome to Miami.
Big adventure. Monster fun. Welcome to paradise like you've never seen it. Watch tonight's episode and you could win an amazing 13-day USA and Caribbean cruise for two. All thanks to My Cruises. This incredible prize includes flights, accommodation and more. Watch Travel Guides tonight at 7 for your chance to win.
My fried rice hack.
Cookies!
And sesame oil.
Fresh tomatoes.
I love all of it. My tip, do it your way.
Terry White Chemmart has real deals on all your favourite brands like Osterlin Selected Range, Bioglan Selected Range and Terry White Chemmart Para Osteo 665mg. Get real deals every day at Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
Cheryl Long is an Apia customer consultant. Our consultants are one of the reasons we've been awarded CanStar's Most Satisfied Customers 2023. Chat with Apia on 13 50 50 today.
At Stressless, we've been handcrafting furniture for generations, striving to create the world's most comfortable seating, designed to intuitively adapt to your body, to bring you a generation of comfort, so you can live in the moment for a lifetime. And right now, Stressless is even more comfortable, with 15% savings across our entire range. Stressless, designer comfort from Norway.
After a long day of fractions, looks like these geniuses could use a refuel. Now that's what you call a half. Bring a little cheer with Cheer Tasty Cheese.
What are you risking online? Create strong, unique passphrases.
Learn simple steps to protect yourself at actnowstaysecure.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Denise's dynasty, built on the despair of the disabled.
Are you everything that's wrong with the NDIS? Where's their money?
A current affair Monday.
A teenage traveller from the US has been arrested after sweatpants, a whisk, a packet of tortillas and 26 kilos of methamphetamine were found in his suitcases. Border Force officials finding more than 20 packages of the drug, said to be worth $24 million. The 18-year-old has been denied bail and will face court in Sydney next month. Desperate teachers are calling for Queensland to trial body cameras to help them feel safe in the classroom. More than 20,000 students were excluded or suspended for physical aggression last year, a 5-year high for the state. The Queensland Teachers Association says video footage could help parents and managers understand the behavioural issues they're facing daily. A car has rammed a Woolworths and BWS store in an attempted burglary in Melbourne early this morning. The vehicle smashed into the shop front on Orong Road in Caulfield North around 2:30. While there were a few broken bottles, police say nothing was taken by the offenders. Boeing's first astronaut flight has been called off at the last minute after a computer malfunction. US correspondent Jonathan Kersley has the details.
The launch of Boeing's Starliner spacecraft with 2 on board has been about a decade in the making. Today, the crew was 2. They were destined for the International Space Station, but with just 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the countdown clock, everything stopped. It turned out there was a problem with what's called the ground launch sequencer, essentially a series of computers. Eventually, the launch today was scrubbed. Boeing's planes have had plenty of problems of late. The Starliner spacecraft program has been riddled with delays and budget blowouts. Problems also prevented a launch attempt last month too. Today's was another technical issue. Boeing is clearly frustrated, but obviously wanting to make sure that everything is exactly right and safe in order to send people into space.
This is the business that we're in. Everything's got to work perfectly like we've talked before. Today we got really close. It didn't work for us. The team's very professional. They're in their 24-hour scrub work turnaround right now. And when we're ready to go, they'll be ready to go.
There was a new launch window tomorrow, but NASA says they cannot get today's problem fixed in time. So a new launch date has been set for 4 days' time.
Parts of a German town have become inaccessible to rescue workers, with helicopters instead used to save people trapped by major flooding. Heavy rain in the country's south saw rivers burst their banks in Bavaria, authorities saying the flooding has caused enormous damage. Authorities in Seoul have warned the public to avoid balloons sent across the border from North Korea. Hundreds of balloons carrying rubbish were earlier deployed this week. North Korea calling them gifts of sincerity and vowed to release more. South Korea's Defence Minister has described it as unimaginably petty and low-grade behaviour. A climate activist has been arrested after sticking a sign onto a Monet painting at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. The protester targeted the artwork, known as Poppy Field, covering it with a sticker bearing an ominous vision of the same scene. It's not yet clear if the painting has been damaged. From the traditional to the unique, hundreds of people have lined up to get their hands on donut creations at a festival in Melbourne. Madeline Spark went along for a taste test.
Well, people really are going wild for donuts at the Queen Victoria Market Donut Festival. Have a look at this queue here. It's around 150 metres long. It wraps around a corner, but people are really happy to wait half an hour for a treat that's waiting for them at the other end. They're Big Bear's Donuts, and they're from Lakes Entrance, around 3 hours from Melbourne. So today was the chance to skip the drive and get one in town.
We started about 4.5 years ago in a food truck van, and then we popped up into a shop because we grew so big.
Half an hour later, supposed to be at work, and I'm lining up in a queue that I honestly don't know what I'm lining up for either.
Alongside those, you'll find everything from Turkish donuts, which are coated in syrup and nuts.
I'm the only one in Australia that does it. Everyone's sick of eating croissants and you know, all the same thing.
So this is a bit different.
To mochi ones, which have the signature soft, chewy texture of the Asian-inspired mochi dessert.
I was at home baking a lot and experimenting with all things mochi. And during that time, I came up with this recipe. So blending two cultures. It's got a very unique texture. It's quite crispy on the outside. And then when you bite into it, it's more chewy or bouncy. Yeah, so something different.
Then if you're vegan or gluten-free or have any other dietaries, these ones here are for you.
So we have about 12 different flavours, from cinnamon, raspberry coconut, strawberry, lemon, pine lime, coffee, cacao, choc mint. There's quite a few, and they're made from sugars and dehydrated fruit and spices.
Pair any of those with a spiced Milo mocktail and it's a welcome to winter indeed.
Everyone's favourite blue heeler has teamed up with Australia Zoo's Robert Irwin for the launch of Queensland's biggest tourism campaign in more than a decade. It comes as hundreds of Bluey fans gathered today, hoping to pull off the world's largest game of keepy-uppy to keep a red balloon off the ground for as long as possible.
Queensland really is Bluey's world for real life. Tourism is critical to our state's economy. We have some of the world's best tourism assets, and this is our chance to use Bluey to showcase them to the whole world.
What I can say is Bluey is one of Queensland's greatest success stories, and she's also one of Australia's.
The campaign aims to attract an extra 1.3 million people to the Sunshine State. Well, the latest sport is next, and Melbourne's day to forget in Alice Springs as the Dockers score their biggest win of the season. Plus, a career first for Alex de Minaur at Roland Garros.
Robert Farquharson did the unimaginable. He killed his 3 sons.
The Father's Day murders that shook Victoria.
Farquharson always claimed he accidentally drove his car into the dam.
20 years on.
The science used to convict is unreliable.
An explosive joint investigation. New questions.
A video showing it takes 8 minutes for the vehicle to disappear under the water. It's just not what would happen.
A major 60 minutes.
He gets himself out of the car, not his kids first. Wouldn't you be inconsolable? Yet he didn't shed a tear.
Online.
Experience luxury Sri Lanka and the Maldives from $4,999 per person, including flights. Discover Sri Lanka's exotic landscapes, then unwind in a 5-star Maldives resort. Head to tripadeal.com.au.
Seal up your biggest asset this footy season with a free and thorough roof inspection from Roof Seal. Assessing damage that'll require urgent attention. Get your roof restored and Roof Seal will throw in a $1,349 rebate. That's a Roof Seal winning deal. Footy fans will be kicking goals with Roof Seal this season for a limited time. Call Roof Seal now.
1336 7070.
Roof.
Get more bang for your buck with Skyring. Set up an investment account today and unlock a competitive return of up to 8.05% per annum. Distributions are paid monthly. To become a Skyringer, visit skyring.com.au.
Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Winter Edition with the taste of pear and cinnamon. Wings for every taste.
They say 2 heads are better than 1, more powerful together. But to fund scientific research, to help beat brain cancer, we're going to need a whole lot more heads than that, because every head will make a difference.
The Mark Hughes Foundation sells beanies to raise money, to fund scientific research and patient support.
So we need every Australian to buy a beanie.
Because your head has the power to beat brain cancer.
Has TIC refused to pay for your medical care or support you need? Call Henry Carrison Associates today with our free TIC Medical-like Services Guarantee. We can get these services paid quickly and at no cost to you, because you deserve more.
Get your roof restored and Roof Seal will throw in a $1,349 rebate. For a limited time, call Roof Seal today.
1336 7070.
Roof.
Australia's greatest rivalry. Ampol State of Origin. Live on 9 and 9 Now.
Melbourne has been embarrassed by Fremantle, going down by 92 points. Jai Amos led the charge with 4 majors as the Dockers ran riot in the red centre, kicking 22 goals.
His first goal of the season is something special, and so is the day for the Dockers.
The win sees Fremantle jump into the top 8 for the first time since round 5. Alex de Minaur is through to the 4th round of Roland Garros for the first time in his career. The Aussie will face world number 5 Daniil Medvedev after fighting back from a set down to defeat Germany's Jan Lennart Struff.
Or way I was going to win this match was just to fight till the end, fight every single point, keep battling, try to stay in no matter what.
The news not as good for countryman Thanasi Kokkinakis, who went down to 12th seed Taylor Fritz in another 5-set marathon. While Real Madrid has won a record 15th Champions League crown, the powerhouse side scored twice in the second half on their way to a 2-0 win over German club Borussia Dortmund.
Oh, it's been given away by Maatsen. This surely will wrap it up. Vinicius Junior pounces.
Real Madrid has won the competition 6 times in the last 11 seasons. Well, tomorrow's forecast is next, but first here's a look at what's coming up in 9 News at 6.
In 9 News, a Melbourne family's home invasion nightmare. Police arrest a Thomastown hit-run driver who left a pedestrian for dead. 6 people rescued from a house fire at Sunshine North. The Allen government ticks off its 80th level crossing removal. A car slams into a Caulfield North supermarket in a failed smash and grab. And our heavy lifting athletes named for Paris 2024.
9 News is your news.
Postcards is giving you the chance to win $1,000 for your next Victorian getaway. To win, be watching Postcards tonight on 9 and 9 Now.
Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. And Perfect Italiano is perfect for that. Not so good for that. But for mouth-watering pizza every time, Perfect Italiano is perfect for that.
Beautiful business. If you're constipated and struggling to poo, here's some great news. Introducing Caruso's Constipation Ease. Caruso's Constipation Ease is a herbal and fibre combination containing cascara, yellow dock, fennel and green banana powder. These help to relieve constipation by making it easier for you to poo. So if you're struggling to poo and would like to poo more, why not try Caruso's Constipation Ease? Caruso's Constipation Ease comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores.
My name is Jack and I live in Helensville on the Gold Coast.
Jack was pretty much housebound most of the time when living in Tamborine.
I am a lot more independent, and it has changed my life. I feel free. I believe people with disabilities have every right to live independently, and Young Care gives us the freedom to do that.
Welcome to the Lipton Tea Factory, where we pick the finest quality leaves that make this natural velvety cuppa the #1 tea brand in the world. Lipton Quality Black, every sip's delish.
Auto Club members save with Repco's 3-day sale. With 25% off Castrol Magnatec, 20% off Bowden's Own, and 20% off MaxiTrack Tyre Care inflators and deflators. Exclusive to Auto Club members, ends Sunday, only at Repco.
When you're smiling, oh, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you laugh,
Cocoa Pops, just like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy.
Get into Anaconda for the best value snow gear with $49.99 adult snow jackets and pants and $39.99 kids snow jackets and pants. Gear up the whole family this winter. Play more and pay less. Anaconda!
This week, Glenn Powell, one of the hottest actors in the world, joins us. Plus, a year after nearly dying in a snowplow accident, Jeremy Renner is back in one of my favourite shows, The Mayor of Kingstown.
Okay, maybe I'll give it a go. And we have giveaways galore, concert tickets, it's amazing home tech, and holiday to Uluru. Wow. This week on Today.
Now to all the latest on the weather, and there's been heavy rain on both sides of the country for the start of winter. As we heard earlier, a strong cold front moved through the southwest of the country, delivering destructive winds and 43 millimetres of rain to Perth. Sydney has already collected 143 millimetres, which is more than the entire monthly average. But it has been dry since the early hours of the morning and reached 17 degrees this afternoon. Perth has been dry since 9 a.m. and peaked at 20. Hobart and Canberra have been our coldest capitals, both only reaching 13. Melbourne also had a chilly Sunday, 14. After a frosty morning, Adelaide reached 16 and Brisbane 22. The cold front will move into South Australia tomorrow, and the low pressure system in the east will drift further south, delivering some wet weather to Tasmania. Hobart could receive as much as 25 millimetres of rain, but it'll be slightly warmer than today, heading for 14 degrees. There'll be cloudy skies over Melbourne. It's also expected to reach 14. Blue skies will return to Sydney, along with a top of 19 degrees. It'll be a sunny Monday in Brisbane as well, after dipping to 11 degrees. It should warm up to 21. Another chilly morning in Canberra with a forecast low of 1 degree, then a top of 13 under cloudy skies. Adelaide is heading down to 5 degrees with possible morning frost through the northern suburbs, and it should reach 16 under increasing cloud. Just a light shower or two for Perth and a top of 20. It'll be another sunny day in Darwin as it warms up to 32 degrees. And that is 9 News this afternoon. Our next bulletin is coming up at 6 o'clock. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to Postcards. We're going to cover